An Autobiography, Heaven on Earth, 11523, 1,256 days sober, thank you God. Story 1427, Freestyle, I love Lamper, thoughts as they come. I just had a thought after leaving a comment with a follower who I know is in their truth, because as human beings, we have a sixth sense of knowing when we can tell if someone is being honest or if someone is full of shit or hiding the truth. Our problem as a race is we are all striving to be perfect, aka, if I could just be happy. We chase this figment of our imagination. Now, one of my favorite authors is Arthur Schopenhauer, because I resonate with the dark side of honesty, pessimism, or pain. My whole life became sin, or known as evil. The only reason I am still here is because I was scared to death of dying. I was too big of a pussy or a coward to face it. I know that sounds heartless and awful, and why would I say such a thing? It is because when I decided to face my fear head on, positivity faded to 0%, or negativity grew to 100%. All will to live gone. I gave up all reasons to protect this ego or mask I had been wearing my whole life of not trying and just trying to fit in. Plain and simply put, I got tired of suffering. I realized I could not enjoy suffering forever. I could not pass the buck forever. I could not be a victim forever. Now this is going to sting, but I found out in my 6-month hermit crab phase with just me and a Bible in a 400 square foot apartment in Park Hills, Missouri, that the reason for my struggle in life was my belief system called saint versus sinner, a 50-50 split right down the middle. I spent half of my time being an optimist, a saint, and I spent half of my time being a pessimist, a sinner. I could read the man-made printed paper and find out why I was right. And I could read the man-made printed paper and find out why I was wrong. But when I flip-flopped it or took it out of historical content, I realized that it had me divided down the middle inside of myself, bouncing back and forth. I couldn't escape the suffering. Every avenue consumed me. I realized the 50-50 of the book, of the wording, of the translation, of the meaning we tied to the words, was a dead-end, lose-lose scenario in both directions, in the format of past and future, the never-ending story of encapsulation, the undetectable running out of the sand in the hourglass. Now back to Schopenhauer. Pain or suffering is just an obstruction of will. I call it playing for the reward when the game is over. Physical to spiritual, earth to heaven. But when you read it as a psychological drama, it flips as to your personal never-ending story, an autobiography, or fighting through the resistance. It equals unobstructed will, or spiritual to physical, or heaven on earth. With massive effort, you can escape the prison or the mirage of everything you have ever known. Can you see it yet? I had to get out of mental debt, and the only way was to pay that mental debt by telling the truth. My story doesn't line up with everybody's story, but the truth lines up with everybody. And the truth hurts or it stings, and that is why we avoid it. We don't fucking tell the truth. We're always lying. It went back to 6th grade when I jumped out of my authenticity. When I got all them questions wrong, I gave up on myself, and the rest of my life became a frickin' screaming for me to go back. I jumped out of line with authenticity, and when I did that, everything became a lie. The rest of my life, every single thing, I could not tell the truth because I was not in truth. Because I gave up on myself. Every step from that moment forward, 25 years in a row, I couldn't tell the truth because I was outside of my truth. My God, inside of me, I abandoned it. But you can't tell people that because they can't see it. you can only see it when you've had your fill. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. And it makes me look like an asshole. But I'm going to keep telling it because it's my truth. I'm going to read, this is my personal journal real quick. I'm going to read, this is the work I put in the vault 3 years ago today. I have changed my inside life so much. I am completely different person. With my spiritual awakening, I knew the old me had to die. Every thought process and paradigm. So I started with self-education, motivational books and videos. Changing my body composition followed that. My diet and gym time became a part of my DNA. It is true about good habits. You start one and it attracts another and another. Almost a year later, and I can honestly say I have no more bad habits. No drinking, no drugs, no bad food, no bad sleep, no laziness, no watching pointless TV, no extra social media, and no extra negative thoughts. I give all the glory and credit to my Creator, who has answered my prayers. The hardest step was the first one, letting go of the old self and asking for help with all of my heart. I knew I would have to sacrifice everything and everyone to get the life and the dreams I had deep down inside. It's very hard, but thank you, God. Now, that was more of an optimist. Now this is the day before. I was a pessimist. This is the work you have to do. 1:14:22. I am being as honest of a human being as I can be. I hold nothing back in my writings. The most honest thing about me, I have wrote down and I am praying on how to incorporate it into my speech. I believe talking about how much alcohol had a control over my life and frequently pissing the bed, scared to even sleep in the same bed as my wife, will get the attention of people, and I can really make sure that they hear me and believe the real pain that I endured. I have been listening to speeches every day for almost a year straight, and I have never heard of one honest story that involves a more honest answer than that. That is my truth. I know I am not the only person who was lost and out of control, that pissing the bed was a part of their hidden life of fear. It controlled me at all times. From the moment I woke up, alcohol was in control of my life. I am using my story to show others that life can be changed. You don't have to be stuck in bondage to addiction anymore. Through my truth, you might be able to see it. I was at the depths of hell. My whole life everything was sin. I couldn't turn anywhere. It was my face system. It wouldn't let me escape. I was bouncing back and forth, saint versus sinner. There was no escape route. If I was on the good side, the bad side was pulling me back. If I was on the good side, the bad side was pulling me back. It was there was no escape. The only way to escape was telling the truth. And the fucking truth hurts. I don't want to tell my truth. My obstructed will, that's what holds us back. It was the very moment that I gave up on myself in 6th grade. Everything went back to that moment. If you can see that the snowballing of my life was just me giving up on myself. Everything from that moment right there was a lie. So they just kept going. They just kept going. But if you can take it back and find the moment, dig through the sludge, find out where you gave up on yourself, then you can go old life, new life, and you can divide it. And then you have all the tools from the past, everything that didn't work. From this moment here, I'll try as hard as I can every day, and I won't give up. That is the formula. 5149. I'm going to post a diagram. Hashtag help each other. Thank you, God. Love you guys.